Hello friend, welcome to back my channel. Old Coins History Today video is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins. Top 3, $1, and other coin. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. So let's get it started. The 1997 Canadian $1 coin, popularly referred to as the loonie due to its iconic reverse design, featuring the common loon, is a significant piece of modern Canadian numismatics and carries a legacy of practicality, national identity, and evolving minting techniques. Issued by the Royal Canadian Mint (RCM), this coin is part of the standard circulating Canadian dollar series that began in 1987. By 1997, the coin had already become deeply embedded in the fabric of Canadian commerce and everyday life. The obverse of the coin bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, designed by artist Dora de Pedery Hunt, whose effigy was first introduced in 1990 and remained in use on Canadian coinage until 2003. In this effigy, the Queen is depicted wearing a tiara, offering a distinguished and modern image of the monarch during the mature years of her reign. Around the effigy is the Latin inscription Elizabeth II Digi Regina, which stands for Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God. Queen. The year 1997 is inscribed below the portrait. This design was notable for its detailed and realistic portrayal, and 1997 was a significant year in terms of mid-series consistency as Canada entered its second decade with the loonie coin. The reverse of the 1997 $1 coin features the famous loon swimming on a lake, designed by Robert Ralph Carmichael, which first appeared in 1987 when Canada transitioned from the paper dollar to the coin form. Surrounding the image are the inscriptions Canada at the top and dollar at the bottom, with 11-sided hendecagonal outer edges forming the coin's distinct shape. Despite being circular in its actual shape, the coin's inner and outer border gives it a uniquely recognizable feel, especially when used in vending machines or coin sorting devices. The coin's diameter measures 26.5 millimeters, has a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, and weighs 7.0 grams. It is composed of aureate bronze nickel, which gives it its characteristic gold-like appearance. The material composition includes 91.5% nickel and 8.5% bronze plating, making it resistant to corrosion and ideal for mass circulation over many years. The 1997 mintage of the $1 coin was approximately 37,008,000 pieces, intended primarily for circulation, although the Royal Canadian Mint also released proof-like and specimen sets for collectors. Despite this high mintage, the coin remains a favorite among collectors due to subtle die variations, condition-based rarity such as uncirculated or MS65+ grades, and its enduring representation of Canadian culture. Over time, collectors have noted several minor varieties in 1997 loonies differences in die polish, strike strength, or the way the date appears under magnification, but no major errors or varieties were officially confirmed for mass production. However, condition still plays a vital role in its numismatic value. A typical circulated 1997 loonie holds face value in everyday use, but coins in mint state condition, MS63 and above, can sell for higher prices, particularly if they are free of scratches, tarnishing, or contact marks. Proof-like coins from the mint sets are especially appealing to numismatists because of their mirror finish and sharper relief details. From a historical and economic perspective, the introduction and continued use of the $1 coin was intended to reduce costs associated with replacing worn paper banknotes. The loonie's durability ensures it can last up to 20 times longer than a paper dollar. By 1997, Canadians had already grown accustomed to the coin, and the transition was viewed as a success. This acceptance set the stage for the introduction of the $2 coin, the toonie, in 1996, just a year prior to the coin in question. Thus, the 1997 loonie marks a period when both high-denomination coins, $1 and $2, were circulating simultaneously, offering a glimpse into how Canadians adapted their currency practices during a period of economic modernization. Loonie is more than a simple medium of exchange, has taken on a symbolic meaning in Canadian culture. The image of the common loon, a bird native to Canada and a symbol of wilderness and solitude, resonates with the Canadian public. The coin itself has appeared in national conversations, from political metaphors to sports superstitions. One famous example was during the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter, coinciding with both the men's and women's teams winning gold in hockey. While that event occurred years after the 1997 coin, it reflects the growing cultural importance of the coin throughout the 1990s and beyond. In terms of circulation, the 1997 loonie has seen heavy use, making pristine examples rare in everyday change. Because these coins were used in daily transactions over decades, many became worn or discolored, making high-grade versions much more collectible. Additionally, the RCM does not release circulation coins with the same degree of finishing as collector versions, making it challenging to find MS66 or MS67 examples from this year without purchasing mint sets or sealed rolls. Coins with full luster, sharp details in the Queen's portrait, and the feathers of the loon, and free of bag marks or toning, are considered excellent collector items. From an economic standpoint, the 1997 loonie contributed to ongoing discussions about the cost efficiency of coinage versus banknotes, and Canada's decision to produce coins for its lower denominations has been emulated by other nations. The loonie represents not just physical currency, but also an institutional strategy of sustainability and economic prudence. Despite fluctuations in raw metal prices, the coin remained viable for minting and circulation. Additionally, its design was sufficiently modern to endure aesthetically, while also being secure against counterfeiting thanks to its specific alloy composition and detailed engraving. The Royal Canadian Mint, responsible for producing the $1,997 coin, is known globally for its high standards in minting and innovation. In 1997, the RCM was already preparing for more secure bimetallic coinage, which would see full realization in later commemorative and $2 issues. Their use of bronze plating over nickel was part of a broader trend in the 1990s. Coin materials that resisted tarnish met electromagnetic signature standards for vending machines and allowed for visual distinction from other denominations. The RCM also actively engaged the public with information campaigns about new coins and their roles, helping to reduce confusion between denominations, a critical issue when phasing in a new coin or changing a metal composition. $1 coin itself is not considered extremely rare or high in individual value under normal conditions. Its role in the broader Canadian monetary system and its representation of late 20th century coinage reform make it highly significant. The Queen's portrait on this coin also connects it to a long lineage of Commonwealth numismatics, where Elizabeth II's image appeared on coins from more than 30 nations. For collectors specializing in monarch portrait transitions, this effigy is one of 4 used during her reign in Canada, offering historical continuity and insight into how royal imagery was used in national coinage. In popular markets like eBay, Numista, and auction houses, the 1997 loonie often appears in lots, starter, collections, and mint sets, while single circulated coins usually sell at or near face value. Higher grade specimens, especially those graded by ICCS, NGC, or PCGS may fetch between $3 to $25 or more, depending on condition and buyer interest. Mint sets from 1997 that include this loonie often attracts collector interest, especially if the packaging remains intact and unblemished. For educational purposes, teachers and currency educators often use the loonie to introduce topics of Canadian wildlife, monetary policy, and even comparative economics. In conclusion, the 1997 Elizabeth II $1 coin is a key example of modern Canadian coinage, both in design and utility. It stands at the intersection of tradition and innovation, featuring a monarch whose image links the past to the present, and a design that celebrates Canadian identity through its natural imagery. With more than 37 million minted, it remains widely available but appreciated in finer conditions. For the seasoned numismatist, the 1997 loonie offers a chance to explore the evolution of Canadian coinage in the post-banknote era. For the everyday Canadian, it represents both change in your pocket and a constant companion on the journey through decades of financial transactions. This coin, though modest in value, has proven itself to be one of Canada's most enduring monetary symbols, a golden emblem of the country's cultural, economic, and natural heritage. The 2015 United States quarter dollar represents a notable chapter in the numismatic journey of American coinage, especially as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and continued through 2021. In 2015, 5 unique designs were issued to honor national parks and historic sites across 5 U.S. jurisdictions, capturing both the natural splendor and historical richness of the nation. These 5 locations commemorated in 2015 were Homestead National Monument of America, Nebraska, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, Delaware, and Saratoga National Historical Park, New York. Each design was struck on the reverse of the quarter, while the obverse retained the iconic John Flanagan's 1932 portrait of George Washington, slightly modified over the decades, but still retaining its classic representation of the nation's first president. The quarters were produced at various U.S. Mint facilities, Philadelphia P., Denver D., and San Francisco S., with San Francisco minting special proof and silver proof collector editions, starting with the Homestead National Monument of America coin, released in February 2015. This design celebrates the legacy of the Homestead Act of 1862 and the enduring strength of the American dream. It features a depiction of a home, a water pump, and corn symbolizing shelter, sustenance, and agriculture, 3 essentials for frontier survival. Sculptor-engraver Jim Licoretz brought this design to life. The imagery is a testament to the courage and resilience of those who ventured westward to build lives from the soil under the provisions of the Homestead Act. This law granted 160 acres of public land to any American willing to work and live on it for 5 years, effectively reshaping the demographic and agricultural landscape of the United States. The Kisatchie National Forest Quarter, released in April 2015, honors Louisiana's only national forest and showcases its unique biodiversity. The reverse design by Susan Gamble and sculpted by Joseph Mena presents a wild turkey in flight against a backdrop of longleaf pines, conveying the energy and ecological vibrancy of the southeastern U.S. forests. This design is especially significant because Kisatchie represents one of the last remaining expanses of old-growth pine forest and serves as a critical habitat for many species, including red-cockaded woodpeckers and Louisiana black bears. The use of the wild turkey, a symbol often associated with American wilderness, and Benjamin Franklin's preference for it over the bald eagle, also ties into broader cultural narratives of American identity. In June 2015, the Blue Ridge Parkway quarter was released. This design, created by Frank Morris and sculpted by Joseph Mena, depicts a curving roadway hugging the side of a mountainside, leading toward a stone tunnel and framed by wild rhododendron flowers, a hallmark of the region. The Blue Ridge Parkway spans over 469 miles and connects the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in North Carolina to Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. Known as America's favorite drive, the parkway captures the marriage of nature and human engineering. This coin's design evokes not just the geographic journey, but also an emotional and spiritual one, as millions of visitors have found inspiration along its winding roads and breathtaking vistas. The Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge coin followed in September 2015, featuring a peaceful wetland scene showcasing 2 birds, great blue herons and egret, standing amid the marsh. This, designed by Joel Iskowitz and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill, emphasizes Delaware's critical role in migratory bird conservation. Bombay Hook serves as a vital stopover point for birds along the Atlantic Flyway. The depiction of this serene, natural habitat invites reflection on America's efforts in preserving wildlife and wetland ecosystems. It was also a reminder of the foundational role of conservation in American values, going back to the establishment of the first National Wildlife Refuge in 1903 by Theodore Roosevelt. Finally, the Saratoga National Historical Park quarter, released in November 2015, commemorates the turning point in the American Revolutionary War. Its reverse design shows a close-up of General John Burgoyne of Britain surrendering his sword to American General Horatio Gates after the decisive victory in the 1777 Battle of Saratoga in New York. This artwork by Barbara Fox and sculpted by Renata Gordon encapsulates a pivotal moment of American independence. It was this victory that convinced France to enter the war as an ally of the fledgling United States, a decision that would significantly influence the course of world history. The image of the sword being handed over evokes both a moment of triumph and a sense of diplomacy, as two opposing generals engage in a ritual of surrender with formality and gravity. The obverse of all 2015 quarters continued to feature the familiar bust of George Washington, first introduced on the quarter dollar in 1932 to mark his bicentennial birth year. Though originally engraved by John Flanagan, the portrait has undergone several refinements for clarity and modern minting techniques. The obverse carries the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and quarter dollar alongside a mint mark PD, or S just below, In God We Trust. Coins from 2015 were issued in both circulating and collector formats, including uncirculated, clad-proof, and silver-proof editions. The silver-proof versions were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, catering to numismatists and silver investors alike. The mintage figures varied depending on the coin and mint, with circulation quantities from Denver and Philadelphia reaching tens of millions per design, while San Francisco proof coins remained in the low millions or less. Quarters particularly interesting to collectors is not only the visual diversity and high-quality engravings, but also the educational value of the series. Each coin serves as a miniature historical plaque, artfully blending cultural memory and geography. They continue a long American tradition of using coins to commemorate events and ideals. From the 1892 Columbian half dollar to the modern-day state and national park series, the America the Beautiful quarters collectively offer a tactile journey through American history and landscape, and the 2015 issues in particular stand out for their storytelling power. Furthermore, the 2015 quarter dollars are popular among educators, coin collectors, and the general public due to their role in civic education. Schools, families, and museums across the country use these coins as visual aids to teach history, geography, biology, and civics. Whether examining the Civil War roots of the Homestead Act or the ecological importance of wetland preservation in Delaware, these coins provide a bridge between past and present. On the collector market, condition plays a key role in value. Uncirculated and proof coins, especially those graded MS70 or PR70 by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch modest premiums. However, coins with significant errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing clad layer scan, be far more valuable. Though no widely known Havalia errors have been reported for the 2015 series at the time of writing, diligent collectors continue to search for anomalies. In conclusion, the 2015 United States quarter dollar coins are more than just pocket change. They are emblems of American heritage, artistry, and natural beauty. They stand as miniature monuments to regional pride and national unity. Each quarter released that year contributed to a broader dialogue about who we are as a nation, and what stories we choose to tell through our currency. As time passes and the America the Beautiful series becomes a completed chapter in U.S. mint history, the 2015 quarters will remain valuable not only for their metal content, but for their rich narratives etched in copper and nickel. In the world of modern numismatics, they serve as a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold the greatest stories.